Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, this video, it's another brake upgrade. If you see my last video on my X5M, I did a video very similar. Brake upgrade is made by Tony. Custom makes the brackets and finds actually which caliper works for certain rotors and basically puts it all together. I think it's a cost-effective way than going with some of these other major companies. But anyway, we're talking again, and I told him that I really wanted to do an upgrade for my F80 M3. I like the CCB look. I like the full 6-piston front, 4-piston rear. And he said, what if I can make one, create one? I said, sure. I mean, I got plenty of time. I'm not like any rush, like this is my daily or anything like that. So I said, sure. So what we have here, we have this is the caliper from the F10, and I've already installed it on this side, but now I'm going to go on the driver's side and do it there. And then on the rear, we're going to do, it's the Porsche Panamera caliper, sort of like the same one I did on the X5M. With this rotor from the M2 CS rotor, okay, I can use my existing rotors, or existing size rotors, is how you want to do it, for the rear. All right, so let's get going. Let's mention it. I think some people, maybe go beyond their skill set on certain things. I'm not saying that everybody's not a mechanic, right? I mean, in the end, these are nuts and bolts, but we are dealing with the braking system. In this particular instance, we're not dealing with some coating, so yeah, you mess up, whatever it is. This is a safety thing. If you're not qualified, don't attempt it. I'm definitely not a professional. This is not professional advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. So that being said, attempt this at your own risk. This is a sort of like what I would call a fun instrument or fun video to watch. Okay. That being said, you can take what you want from the video, and if you want to do this on your own, by all means. I'll have everything linked in the description as far as the tools I use. Some things right off the bat, obviously a jack, you need that, jack pad to help with the obviously placement. We'll go over a few things, and then I recommend getting some heat. So obviously you need a way to remove your lug bolts. This is some hex tools, some penetrating grease, anything that might get stuck, some heat. I reckon, like I said, if you never know what you're gonna run into, especially with things like this, this is an adjustable breaker bar, and then some other Torx bits and hex bits. Okay, shears is good because I'm gonna cut back the heat shield back here to accommodate the larger caliper. And you can see these calipers had a few track days on them. Obviously, I'm got 60,000 miles plus the exit track days. You can see the lip right there on the camera. There's no need to, doesn't take a genius to figure that these rotors are definitely have reached their end of life. And this is why I'm doing an upgrade, because I'd rather just go ahead and do this now before I do another track day. Let me just show you. And you can see the cracks on here too. I mean, they're stress fractures around where the cross drill is. So yeah, these rotors are done. Jack pad, that's what I'm gonna do here. Let's put this underneath so it sits right inside the jack portion. Normally I use my impact driver, but I'm going to go ahead and just use it by hand. Reason why, because I'm doing this while my son naps, so I don't want to wake him up with the power tools. I like this tool here. This one is good for when I take the wheel off. I'll just thread it right through here, and it's like a hanger for your wheel. So when I have to put it back on later, I'd line it up. It's easy to line up with the lug bolts. So Alright, this tool, if you can see it here on camera, it's good for tapping out these caliper pins. So these two pins, if I was just changing brakes, obviously it would just be these. I could pull the pads out and then I swap the new pads in. However, for this one, I'm gonna pull the pads out, but I'm also going to remove the brake line and the caliper as well. So you want to set this right in here like that. Keep a little pressure on it, and I'm going a little lighter than I usually do because I don't, like I said, I don't want to wake up my son upstairs. And see, I just push that through. Then next one. Put a little pressure on it right here, and I can push the gloves on. I'm gonna pull back on this a little bit to push some of the piston back in now to help me relieve some pressure off the caliper or the pads, so I can just wiggle them out. And I don't have to take the pads out, but it's a lot easier. See how now this rolls freely? People are squeaky brake. So yeah, see how this rolls freely? Because now the pad isn't pressing, it's not on there so much. So now all I gotta do is just pull off the caliper. I'm gonna take off these two bolts here. Try to get my camera in there. So 1, 2. So that's the better one, second one, and then this one here. And while I'm working on that, I'm gonna go ahead and spray down these two set screws because eventually I need to remove these two to then remove the rotor. Also, it helps sometimes to turn your wheel to get better access. Never want to rest the caliper. It's hanging by the brake line. So alright, rotor's off. Now I need to cut here, trim here. New bracket's going to go there, and then a caliper. And then obviously change the brake lines. Some people, you could choose to use your old ones, or you can put new ones on, totally your choice. This is the F82 caliper. Let's see here. Just gotta degrease it. So I always do this. And if you're curious about the weight difference, let's see what the stock rotor weighs. Here's the OEM rotor. Okay. All right. Let's sit there for a second. Okay. 24.9. Enthusiast rotor, you can see. It's out this thing. Okay, let's see what that. 31.6. All right, so it gives you this bracket. This is the new bracket modified to fit. I'm going to slide this bracket on, but now you see I'm impacting here, so I need to cut this piece. Also a good idea to wear eye protection just in case the metal pops off. Use my existing bolt to hold the caliper on. This is actually going to hold the bracket. Now I feel like the rear is a lot easier. Well, not a lot easier, about the same. You're gonna still need 18mm socket to remove the bolts in the back after you get the wheel off, okay? And here's the caliper. Got 2 bolts. These bolts are gonna screw into the back of the caliper. And you're gonna need a hex 10, H10 to go into the bolt. That's gonna go into the back of the caliper. And your existing bolts that you use to remove this caliper here, I just take the whole thing out, are gonna go into this new bracket. Swap the brake line, slide on the new and then my bolts. Oh, shit.
Each battery contains 18 individual battery cells.
No signs of arcing or short circuit as a result of impact.
We were able to recover a total of 10 cells from the batteries, and they were all in decent shape.
Under normal conditions, the batteries should be fully charged.
Wow. Sure did.
The batteries were able to hold a charge, but for some reason they were running.
Did the generators malfunction and fail to charge the batteries? Aircraft engines power a generator shaft to rotate a metal core wrapped in copper coil. This is known as an armature. The armature spins rapidly between the poles of a magnet to generate electricity.
Banding wires, come on.
Banding wire is used to hold the armature together as it spins inside the assembly. If the banding wire comes loose, the armature could jam.
Soldering is melted. The motor must have overheated.
Investigators discover evidence that the left generator failed.
This happened before the crash.
We know that there was no fire on the aircraft, so we believe that the solder melted due to internal.
How do they crash with 4 working batteries and 1 working generator?
From examination of the wreckage, we were not able to find.
Just like we suspected.
The CVR recording confirms that the left generator failed shortly after takeoff. The rest of the aircraft's electrical system. But he soon realizes that it's the left one that has the issue, not the right.
Why doesn't he just do it?
NTSB investigators check whether the pilots of American Airlines F80 M3 properly set the altimeter during the slowly approaching Granby Airport.
All right, so my first impressions, I know not in my regular garage, but my first impressions is the brakes. Obviously, I'm doing the braking process. They seem to take less effort when you brake. They seem to not, it's hard to explain. When I press the brake pedal, you can easily tell that there's more braking power. The true test is gonna be on the track, but obviously, if you look at the clearance, it is, if you have 19-inch wheels, you're at the limit of the size of the brake caliper. If you have 18-inch wheels, you're not going to fit. You might have to look for a different brake option because you are pretty close to the wheel barrel. But like I said, the wheel's going to move with it. And I think if anything else, it might prevent bigger rocks from getting stuck in the caliper. So we'll see. If you're interested in purchasing or inquiring, I'll link Tony's email in the description. So check that out here. I put it in the description. So if you're interested in, maybe the same option, check that out. Anyway, thanks for watching.